Ayodeji.
Hi, I'm Kachi.
And welcome to The Square, a podcast where we have honest conversations about life, pop culture, and everything in between with casual conversations from a global perspective.
That's right. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, and share. And make sure you let people know how awesome it is.
All right, let's get into the episode. Enjoy.
Enjoy. This is the introduction. Good morning, my fellow Nigerians. Accurate timekeepers, co-debaters, bitches
brother.
and them bitches too, and everybody else in between, and my able guest. My name is Kachi, aka Keiko, aka
brother.
that bitch, and I'm here to not confuse you, but to convince you.
I'm already confused, actually. I don't know where you're going with this, but hey, sure, why not? We've already started. Since Kachi has done her own intros, right? I'm happy for her.
Beat that.
I can't. I physically can't, but I will do my best. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, evening, whatever. You don't have to be Nigerian. I'm greeting you anyways. Kachi never said Nigerians, but I'm greeting everybody. If you're from Sierra Leone or if you're from Amsterdam, bro, I'm greeting you, my guy. So I'm here to convince you, and I will not confuse you because I have the things to convince people, you know, and I'm coming with good vibes too, and I'm coming with a nice raspy voice, so you guys should just take it for what it is. But welcome back to another episode of The Square.
It was use your throats to confuse somebody.
Precise. Wait, that sounds somehow. I don't think so. That's a bit fucked. I'm not trying to do that. But you though, maybe if that's what you're on, more power to you. But I'm not on that. That's mad. Anyways, welcome to an episode of The Square. We're gonna have a chat about something interesting, but let's try to follow due process. I did mention to Kachi that we want to try to have one central square segment. I know it's not a segment, it's just a note, because like I said, we agree that nothing has happened interesting in the last week or so. Nothing. Okay, let me not say interesting, but nothing massively of note. Yes, I think nothing interesting. But for the central square, the only thing I wanted to point out to catch is that we've had a wave of defections of people going to APC. APC is taking over the country. Nigeria is becoming closer and closer to a single party state.
Yep.
I don't know what this means. Well, actually I do, but I don't want to jump to conclusions, right? Because there are a lot of benefits in having a single party state. People often point to China and other Asian countries, right? And even Russia as well, right? People point that yes, it's nice to be led by a single voice. There's a unison of ideas, and there is, an agreed way of thinking, right? But the problem is that our country wasn't built for that. I don't know if that will work because we're so strong-willed. Nigerians are stubborn people, so I don't know if we can all agree, but hey, I don't know. Out of 36 states right now, we have 23 governors, right? So take that for what it is. And a lot of other governors have kind of, rubber stamped and endorsed Tinubu by visiting him and caused him to come over for commissions. I'm looking at you, right? His Excellency Governor Adeleke. I'm looking at you, His Excellency Governor Saludo, inviting Tinubu over. They are saying, they want to endorse him and all these things here and there. It's none of my business, but shout out to them, right? Shout out to them. Shout out to Nigeria. I hope you guys are good. Shout out to Nigerians. I hope you guys are okay. I hope there's still Milo in your kitchen and bread and things like that.
Flourish.
Anyways, but that's beside the point. Let's just jump into what we want to do today.
Yep.
Okay, you guys, so we're back again. So Kachi and I are here to have a debate style.
Good morning, my fellow listeners. Co-debater, you, accurate timekeeper, amoebas, bitches and the bitches too, and all the real niggas out there too. My name is Kachi, aka Keiko, and today I will be justifying the point that school is important. School shall not be outdated, and
that's not your point. That's my point.
That's your
yes. These are the issues. These are the collection of issues.
You said you were still handling on the fact that school isn't. I was really.
Do you know what? It's fine. Which one did you prep for?
I'm
Which ones do you
speaking.
have it for?
I
No,
have
no,
it for
you choose
school.
now.
Yes, school is yes. With a little bit
Really?
of I understand that skill sets matter, but yes,
Really?
just for
Okay,
this
go for it.
for this debate.
No, go
For
for it. That's your position in life. When outside, I'll say you're a
wait, I
school
don't understand.
merchant.
I don't understand. So if I steal one, should that make me a radical thief?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so too. Yeah.
Oh well, I'm not a radical thief yet.
Okay.
So I am
But
on
please
the
go on. Go
standpoint
on.
that school is very, very essential. And there are a lot of points, but you need to also introduce, we need to do it back and forth. I can't just go on the ledge, except if I start with my first topic, but you need to also introduce yourself and say that you are for
Okay.
that skill
I
set.
will. Okay. So can I start or
Oh,
you're
please,
still?
you have the floor, my fellow debator.
Okay, so I'll just sort of just start with a little bit of an intro, right? So
Yeah.
today we're diving into a topic that sort of hits very close to home for lots of people, and and a lot of young people as well who went through the process of striving hard, and following the conventional educational pathway, right? And they did their 4 years or 3 years or whatever years plus, right? And you have this amazing thing in your hand called a degree, and then you ask yourself again retrospectively, since you're out, because this is a conversation that most people have when they finish, especially with themselves internally or with their other friends or their family, whatever. And you think, was this thing worth it? Like, does it make any sense, right? And that's sort of what we're trying to unpack in this episode, right? Um, because we feel like there's like growing tensions between traditional education and sort of real world ability, especially in this digital age where everyone has so many skills and you can even learn skills literally from your house. You don't need to go to a traditional learning institution or whatever,
Absolutely.
right? There's so many people that are self-taught in coding, content creation, and it seems as though that they have a higher earning potential than people who studied conventional degrees or even did further degrees like a master's or a PhD or whatever the case may be. So we're just trying to just have a conversation of what does it really mean to be educated in today's context, right? Are degrees still your golden ticket, so to speak, or are we actually going to admit that you actually need to focus more on your skills? Like, are your actual real world skills the real flex, right? And more importantly, if you're advising, talking to a young person today, maybe somebody is, when you go to university, 17, 18, come to and say, oh my gosh, hi, Kachi, or hi, K, honey, or I didn't hear your intro very well. But about Auntie K, yo,
That's
I'm
good.
17. I'm thinking of not going to uni. What are you saying? Or I have a brother that's 17. And so I did. I'm thinking about this uni thing. Like, what do you think I should do? So it's a way to, frame your mind around it, and we'll try to have an honest conversation. Right? I know everybody is on different sides of the divide. Right? A lot of Africans are pro education, pro university.
A
But
lot.
let's talk about it, I think, right?
Mhm.
So from Kachi's introduction, apparently she believes as though um school is the best thing since sliced bread and you need it to be able to survive in the world today. Me, not so much. But like, let's talk about it, right? So Kachi, please, the floor is yours. Where
Right.
do you want to start this
So far.
conversation off?
Right. So I want to start off with the fact that school, people just relate school to syllabus. It's so funny because even on my show this week, I was actually talking about that too. This show I have called Campus Holler on Conga FM 107, right? And
Shameless
there
plug,
was
by the way, but sure, go on. Why not?
period.
Shameless plug.
So I was trying to encourage people as to, okay, if you how daunting is your syllabus? Is there a point in time where, let's say you're like an influencer, for example, or you discover your influencing in school? What time do you now actually choose between, am I going to continue this? Am I just going to do this degree very, very haphazardly, very half-handedly? Is it supposed to be more than a syllabus? And the thing is, honestly, I think school teaches more than just having a syllabus. It teaches the mindset. But the thing is, you also have to obviously have your own, you need to have your own mental to understand how to differentiate between having a syllabus and how to relate it to your real life, techniques and activities and actions that will take you farther than the classroom. Because education isn't just about what you're taught. It's more or less teaches you almost what's it called? Molds you. That's not the word I'm looking for, but let's use that for now. Molds you into how to learn, how to think, how to solve, how to lead, basically how to show up. Because even if you want to have a business, you still need to show up for your business. You still need to have some direction for your business. You still need to have how you're going to align yourself with that business, the creation of the business, understanding how the business can be, broadened and versatile. It's not just that you're learning about the business and sitting with it and then, oh yeah, I know about business. I know about selling car parts, and you're not doing anything with it. So it kind of forces, school kind of forces you to, how you show up consistently. You have it at 8 a.m. If you don't pass that class now, or even have a C minus, you're going to have to go back to it. Besides that one, that reminding you, oh, I paid plenty money for this. So it even removes that whole cash grab idea, because you genuinely know that you want this skill set. Because besides it applying to you, it's going to apply to your, day to day in your future and what you're building. And it allows you to work with teams, work with people, just to build that same environment that you're trying to build for what you want in the future. Besides even dealing with deadlines, you're going to deal with clients outside. If you translate submitting a deadline of a project, your client outside, if you have a PR company, there's a deadline for that. You need to talk to your copywriter, you need to talk to your graphics designer, you need to talk to everybody and make sure everybody's aligned to make sure the client is happy, because you want your professors to be happy. Cool. Syllabus, real life. So your mindset gives you that communication skill, gives you time management skills, gives you just discipline, both intellectually and otherwise. And self-learning, it doesn't always enforce that. You still want to learn from others besides from real life skills. But if it's honed properly and with enough discipline, it's actually more valuable after graduation.
Okay. So many statements and questions, but before I start to attack the things you've said, let me just start off with my fact sheets, right? Okay, so this is data that was gathered in the US, and they spoke to a bunch of people who, studied or are studying or gone through the process or who are informed on the process, right? And it's a data set. The first thing is, again, data in the labor market, right? So the number of jobs, the percentage of jobs that required a college degree, right, in America fell from 51% in 2017 to 44% in 2021, right? First thing. What does that tell you? It means that employers are kind of opening up to the idea of a variety of skill set that may not necessarily follow the traditional educational pathway, right? First thing. Second thing, only 25% of college graduates, would choose to pursue the same educational path if they could do it again, right? People like me and you who are graduates, would you want to go back and study your degree again? I will not answer for you, but for me, fuck no, definitely not. Would study something else or done things in a completely different way, right? And I feel like a lot of us are in that sort of halfway house, right? Because the whole idea and sentiment of it is that, because we're looking back at it now, is what we learned about directly related to the jobs that we have now? Me, no. You, I'm sure not. No, in fact, I don't even know to tell me. I know it's not. Don't look left. Look me in my eye. I know it's not. You're doing something that's completely different from what you studied. Separate issue. A lot of people are sort of in that.
But okay, for sake of discussion, I understand.
A lot of people are in that sort of halfway house, right? And additionally, 41% of people say that instead of that, they would instead get a certificate that would sort of qualify them for an in-demand job. So a lot of people study different things, and a lot of the time, the things they studied had transferable skills for them to be able to get the jobs that they had. But I think the sentiment of that is they might have wanted to have studied something else that are giving them direct access to a job that is in demand. Like people that are into coding and all these other things. Maybe I want to study computer science or whatever the case, rather than studying the maths or the business, whatever the case that you did, right? So that's, again, 3 data points. First thing. Second thing, right, is, in my opinion, is the classroom setting that we have today outdated? Is it still important? Is it still useful? Does it provide us with the best in class method for people to understand and learn and be taught? Again, conventional, go to class, study, write your notes, do coursework, submit, as you're saying, all those amazing things, right? And also, you mentioned syllabus, the things you are actually learning. How applicable is it to the real world? One question. Second question, when you take a step back, how many things do you know now as a big adult, right? Or as someone that is adulting, that you wish you had learned while you were in uni and you didn't have to figure out along the way. Right? And it's not just uni, it can also be in high schools. You can learn these things at any point. How many, so it's sort of the idea that schools or universities don't necessarily teach you about things that are applicable in the real world, or that would support real world development as an adult, right? So we're talking about things like how to budget and track expenses, understanding credit, loans, interest rates for, well, in most countries, how to pay taxes and sort of how the taxing system works, taxing bracket and stuff like that, how to save and invest, how do you sort of build for your future, things like that. Areas in terms of debt management, sort of avoiding financial sort of potholes and scams. And on a personal level, how to manage your stress, anxiety, how to resolve conflict, right? And, working on communication, setting boundaries, dealing with failure, rejection, and sort of, and dealing with uncertainty, right? Looking at areas in terms of being self-aware and, regulating your emotions. These are things that you learn as a human being as you go through life, right? But I believe that there's opportunity to learn these sorts of skills, day-to-day skills, important skills, in a formal educational setting, but it doesn't often come through like that. Separate issues. And I don't really want to jump into the things that you said we can learn from university or from school, because I do believe that those things are important, and it's good to know them in terms of time management and and working with a schedule and working in teams and things like that. But my question to you is that, are those skills exclusively learned in education, or can you not learn them in another way? Is my question back to you.
I think you can learn them in another way, because it's not sorry, it's not like, as I said, with the mindset, it's a mindset thing. As much as you're learning in class, the skill sets that you're getting in class will still be replicated in the real world. So whether or not you're learning about stock and tax systems or whatever, they might not put today's value in a syllabus, but the amount of information that you're getting in class would also allow you to do that research. Like, that's part of why I can understand that there's some things that the classroom is lacking. So it's not like the school class is just totally cancelled, right? They don't have this information being given. It's not. It's just that it needs to be adapted better. That's
Yeah.
yeah, it needs to be adapted better, because they don't just teach that all the time in schools, in any classes, but it doesn't stop you from actually wanting to learn. There's a lot with, like, Nigeria, for example. A lot of us didn't even know much about, who is on this Naira note, who is on this, some of these, even about women's riots, all these things. They will not necessarily see it in class. They only tell you about the political parties, they'll tell you about Herbert Macaulay and 1914, and some other things that are not necessarily so applicable here. But if you're choosing to learn, you will learn those things. So as much as it is the fault of the school educational system for not putting these things that are actually the most transferable values into real life semantics, does not mean that it is not already placed in there for us to adapt and also further our own understanding. Because even if you have your skill set, you not go to school. If you know you want to be a tech bro, sure, if you learn something now, as you're learning it, I want you to say, okay, let me check YouTube, let me go and register for a course, because you choose to do the research, do the work, and also learn. Doesn't cancel out the fact that, yes, the educational system does not have that place value, as I said, but it doesn't mean it does not activate or ignite the knowledge factor to know.
Okay. So, and again, I'm not saying I completely disregard what you're saying, but where you lose me is you're saying that we need to choose to learn, right?
That word choose is not the best, because it's almost like that choose word is heavy, but I'll just take
because that's where
that's not
I
the
want to
word.
hold you. I want to put your feet to the fire on that, because how do you know what you want to choose in the moment? Like, isn't that what the schooling is for? Because the other things that are in your syllabus that you didn't choose, they are done as the Ministry of Education, the government system, those are the ones that set it up. So don't you think that, again, the problem isn't necessarily that? Because I'm not saying that you should chuck out the whole school thing. It doesn't make any sense. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the methods in which things are being taught and the actual content itself is a bit outdated, and it is not as robust as we need it to be, because there are more things that need to be in there that would support learning. And it doesn't, again, like I said, we can take a step back to high school and primary school. There is no reason why you should not have a class in high school that teaches you about how to save, managing your money and expenses and finances, and teaches you, or rather gives you information on how you can build your wealth or build some level of cash or equity to be so as to get your money to go as far as it can. Because not everybody is going to be a millionaire. Not everybody is going to be an Elon Musk or a Femi Otedola or a Aliko Dangote, right? But you can make your money go farther or further rather than it currently is. For example, why camp all your money in the bank? Why not make your money work for you? You want to save? Fine. Put it in some investment vehicles. Explain to people what investment vehicles are and how they can get access to them and how they can monitor them, right? A lot of the problems that we have is because we don't have the information we need to have, right? Like I said, not everybody can be the richest person in the world, but there's a way that you can build on your wealth to be and make your money do more for you than it currently already is. Because you leave your money in the banks are using your money to enrich themselves anyway. So you might as well go and buy some stocks, buy some bonds, buy some treasury bills, things like that, little things that the risk is not too high and that you can, that you can be able to build your wealth on, right? And I do think you can learn from literally from high school, right? Because right now there are 1 million apps that you can enter and buy treasury bills, bonds, stocks, and you can even buy fractional stocks. You even need to buy the whole stock, right? So, for example, if you want to get into the American stock market, you can buy a fraction of a Tesla stock, dead easy. You can buy $10 worth, right? But people don't know. Everybody just knows, okay, I'm going to go to work, get my money put in the bank, cool. That's it, right? And on other things that there's also disinformation, right? We have a very bad history with credit in Nigeria. There's this whole idea of onigbese, which is Yoruba for like a debtor, someone that's owing. Do you get? And even what's going on? And when you say onigbese, the actual literal translation of it is somebody that has carried a problem. Do you get? Right? And obviously, we interpret it as debt, but someone that has gone to carry a problem. Debt isn't a bad thing. Debt is a wonderful thing. It's really good to have debts, right? The richest people in the world operate with debts, right?
I need to put this on a shirt.
Like literally, like it's fine to be in debt. Debt isn't bad. You just need to be able to manage it, right? It's not an issue, but people don't understand. People don't know that because they're not taught things.
Well, see, as you're mentioning stuff about debt, which is real life experiences, doesn't you being broke in school translate to you being in debt outside? So isn't that like
Broke
a
and being debt are two
foundational?
different things.
I know, but like it's still the foundation of the understanding of what will happen in the future. So if I thought you were in school, I'm just mine is linking how it translates, because even when you're mentioning stuff with like taxing and stuff for budget and expense tracking and all that, like school will even still give you some kind of sense of logic, whether it's numbers, that whole discipline I mentioned, planning, like those kind of things. You think critically, you'll start understanding how to save your money and how to understand money moves and money
The
business.
problem with that is that you want them to go broke before they understand that you start saving their money. Because a lot of people, you only know about money management when you don't have any money, when your money has dried up and you're down to your last card.
That means you're not even necessarily learning too, because yes, that learning thing is actually a choice sometimes. I can understand that, not in every situation, but it actually is, because school is not just there to hold your hand. Even your own parents are not holding your hand, even if
They're
you're
not.
paying your money. It's not there to, and people now mistranslate that idea of school being there to help. Yes, of course, they're going to collect their money now. Do you know how much it is to run a whole school to pay people? But that's not only the whole cash grab system of it, because people just want school. Oh, I paid school fees. Show me the way. If you don't show me the way well, that means I don't learn anything. This degree is not going to help me. No. How are you translating all the skills that you're learning there? It's the truth. Like, if you think about it, some people, they're so blameworthy on the educational system. And if you really peek into their own lifestyles and what they chose to take out of their experience in school, there is a disjoint. They probably didn't do enough. But they're not going to tell you that. They're just going to blame the system, because everybody blames the system. And then the degree is not useful.
Okay, wait. But then I put it to you, if you are paying all this money, shouldn't the onus be on the service provider? I don't understand.
They are though. Like, but even if they're of course they're service providers. Even customer care. Even if they want to help you, they're going to come and feed you the food. The global biker bring the food to you and give you a spoon and put it to your mouth. No, it's a segue.
That's it. I don't even want to
It's a very good analogy. Think about it.
Oh my
yes,
God.
it's a perfect analogy, because he's a service provider. So I'm relating it to school as much as school wants
The
to help.
reason why you can't link it to school is if you want to use that same example, your university is not
Don't
bringing
lie
to
on
you
my
cooked food.
example right now.
You see,
Moving on, Deji. Stay on the
they are
point.
not giving you cooked food.
Stay on the point. Or they're
They are
giving you rice
giving
and
you
beans.
rice and maggi and oil to tell you to cook it yourself. That's what they're doing in
but they're
university.
teaching you how to cook it. They're not going to cook it for you.
They should cook it for me.
They
That's
should
what
cook
I'm
it for
saying.
you.
Yes.
You are a thief.
They should cook the food for me.
You are a criminal.
A big one.
You paid for the rice, you paid for the seasoning, you paid for everything. They even now give you a gourmet. They give you different classes. They give you one that is gourmet, honors gourmet class.
Yes.
You can cook rice, souffle. You can cook jollof rice.
No problem.
You can cook fucking rice 3 ways.
No
you
problem.
can cook Caribbean rice with a fucking saute dressing.
It's always a rice with Nigerians. It's always been rice, right? You don't have any other food to eat.
They gave you all the menus. They gave you all the instructions. As much as they can't cook it, sometimes some people actually cook it for you. I don't know their ways are Nigerian university. They cook for them now, if you know what I mean. But it's not. Think about it. They cook for them, but they're not supposed to, even if they're service providers. But then, of course, as I said, the system is a bit that sometimes they might not even give you the right ingredients. In fact, the way the chef would go with his shirt open, they don't care. You know, in some situations, so there's some that, of course, if you drop back, the chef comes, he knows what he wants to do. He's just here to give you information, make sure he supervises that you do it well, and he dips. But you're not gonna hold your hand, do it. And then people hold their hands to be held. That's
fine. I think that one I will leave that one to you. I disagree. I'll leave that one to you. I think so. If we now take a step forward, you graduate, you are out now. You are now on the job market. Remember the stat I read to you earlier, right? About the 51% of jobs in 2017 required a college degree. In 2021, it came at 44%, right? From the employer's point of view, what do you think they really, really care about? Is it that, okay, I have this paper that I went to so and so university and I studied, let's say the job is for, I need an engineer. You study engineering, right? You don't have any experience in engineering. You are just fresh. If anything, you're coming for a graduate role. You want to learn. Whereas there is a boy who went to, I don't know, his local polytechnic, and he has hands-on skills on the engineering, knows how to fix things, put things together. And let's say, for example, the company is a car manufacturing or assembly plant or whatever, right? This boy has coupled the car and uncoupled the car. The other boy, he studied automotive engineering in XYZ University, and they're applying for the same job. You are my HR. Who should I hire? You have come to meet me. Say two people have this CV. Who do you want to hire?
Who would I want to hire?
Yes. Since we like examples and fucking analogies, who will you hire?
Oh, somebody spicy, okay.
Yeah.
Who you hire? I might. It depends. It depends on the guy. Is more okay. He's a work handy. Yes, he's done that. But does he have customer relation skills? Does he have team working skills? Yeah, he knows how to build the bike, but does he know how to talk to other people and teach them through how he learned how to?
Nobody builds the bike by themselves. They are mechanics.
Some people do.
They do it together.
If you've not done it, you've not done it. If you don't know, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So you don't know. Does he know how to transfer these skills to other people? If he's really trying to build a business or a legacy from his being able to do things without being educated.
No, I said you're trying to hire a graduate now.
Yeah,
so
now I'm getting to the graduate. He's not the graduate now. You gave me two people, Abby. I'm talking about the one.
The role is a graduate as far like entry level role.
Still, I would still. It depends on the conversation I have with the person. I would still look for. As an employer, I look for a lot of other things besides the actual skill sets most times.
Okay.
Because some people can. Do you know how many people are learning on the job nowadays? They have the degree, or even those that have that skill set, and they're just there pressing laptop for hours.
That's what I'm saying. The idea is that on entry level roles,
or graduate
people want to come and learn on the road. But I'm saying that there are some people who already have the skill. So who are you going to favor in the hiring process?
So the person that has the skill, is he also a graduate? That's what I'm trying to understand.
He didn't go to school. He went to work in a shop.
That's what I mean. I might take the graduate because because does the person that work in the shop, does he have transferable skills? There are other things I'll be looking for,
Yes,
not just
now
that.
to fix the. Oh, why am I even
That's
asking you? I'm not
no,
asking
yeah.
another analogy again.
Are you
No, no,
okay?
no. Just be going.
Do you
I'm
know
not
what
asking you
transferable
again.
skills are? It's not
See.
just that he's able to
Oh
teach
my God.
building the bike, bro.
It's
What? Okay,
fine.
what are your transferable skills? List them.
I don't have.
You
Don't
have to
worry.
list it
I'm
now
I'm not
because
doing an example with you again. I don't
I
want to
know.
do. I
No,
want
no,
to
no,
focus on what I'm trying. I'm trying to
no.
say
You have to
that
finish though, because
there
you're not understanding what are transferable skills.
is it
You
not
think it's
my
a
own question? Why must you answer my question with a
I,
question? Can't you just answer
I
the question?
because you need to answer it, nigga. Let me tell you what top transferable skills are
Oh my
from based on
God.
what I know, based on my
Sure, no problem.
employment history, based on what I don't see, because I've seen a
Good,
lot of shit. One,
good.
communication. Listen, whether it's written or verbal, that person with the skill set, he might have broken English. Maybe my company, I'm not biased, so me, I like PG. But that might not be the place where PG is necessarily allowed. He might not speak proper English, and we need to send him to freaking Hyundai to do some extra English stuff. And maybe he can't. Not like he can't learn it, but at that time, he graduates that also knows
Fine.
more but hasn't built it. Let me finish, because you don't want to tell me what transferable skills are. You're not understanding, and I must clear this analogy. Right. So, critical thinking. Yes, he might be able to critically think about, oh, how is he going to do this to make sure it gets him money? However, there might be a disjunct where he might not know how to debate himself properly, negotiate, make decisions, even in like high pressure environment. We don't know that. Time management. Niggas
How
love
d-
to take time.
how do we get
Let me
here?
finish.
Wait.
Nope, nope.
Okay.
Because we need to know. You need to know transferable skills.
No, you
Time,
are the timekeeper. Your
time
time has
management.
elapsed. You cannot use
No,
your rebuttal to
no,
eat my whole
no,
time.
no, 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 because I know I'm making facts. Listen, time management. How many times have you told your tailor to give you your shirt to tell you size not ready? Because some of them don't have transferable skills of time management. They don't be doing the right thing. So don't be sighing here. We're not done. Oh God,
How
where's
can
my
you not
cost?
be done with my own time now? Wait first. You have gone far. See, no problem. Like I said, it's my fault
Sorry.
giving the analogy. You're right.
I hope
Transferable
I've
skills
been
are
able to
important.
confuse you.
I'm confused. Yeah, that's right. We're all
Yes,
confused. We
yes.
don't know how we got
I ain't
here.
trying to convince you.
I gave you two graduates to pick. You did not pick anybody.
Already, but I'm telling you why I would like to pick the one that's not. That's why I asked you from the very first sentence I made. I already told you I'll pick the graduate.
So, like I said, it's always good to think things through. But I do think that the point of agreement that we can both have is that we need the education system and process to be upgraded and reformed to match the realities of today, so people
Absolutely.
can be better as human beings in terms of learning emotional skills, being better as adults in terms of having financial management skills, and being better as a community. Because, like I said, if we know our history, know where we're coming from, we better be able to know where we're going to as
Perfect.
Nigerians in and out of Nigeria.
Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah, okay. So thank you, accurate timekeeper. Thank
Oh,
you,
bye,
audience.
Cody. But
I hope.
I hope we have not been able to convince you. But of course, additional confusion. No, wait, sorry. We hope. Okay, let me just let you do it.
No, as I
We
said,
hope we've been able to
yeah.
confuse you, because we're not really trying to.
Convince.
No,
We're trying
no,
to
no.
convince. I'm not.
Listen, let me finish. We
Oh my.
hope we've tried. We hope we've been able to confuse you, because we ain't really trying to convince you. Okay, convince yourself. That's a personal problem. But we have been able to confuse you as to what you should actually choose. But of course, choose rightly. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Sure.
No, not
Choose
really. I just
wisely.
yeah,
Choose wisely. Go to school. School is good. But just do some research. I think it through, and you'll be fine.
absolutely.
All right, Kachi, do you want to sign us off, and then we can?
I would like to thank my.
Oh, brother.
I just love how I'm fucking with you now, because you didn't want
Yeah,
me to react.
I have nothing. I don't even know what's happening at this point.
I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. We love when you guys listen and have feedback. And of course, we have many, many more exciting episodes coming your way. So make sure you keep tuned. Choose wisely. Stay in school if you're already there. Collect your money, but enjoy yourselves and have a great week.
Facts. Don't waste your money. Stay in school. Read. Be informed, and have a good weekend. Well, weekend, whatever they're listening to, public holiday. I don't know.
Enjoy.
Please like, share, subscribe, follow the podcast, follow Kachi, check the show notes. We love you guys. Have a great time. Bye.